We are now just 152 days away from the official release of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. That is all set and ready to end the sequel trilogy and the Skywalker saga itself. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. So what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that this film is going to introduce tons of new canon material into the Star Wars franchise that will be introduced and demonstrated by Abrams, George Lucas, Chris Terrio, that will eventually be expanded upon in other forms of canon like books, novels, comics, etc. Now, what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the big plans by George Lucas, JJ, and Chris Terrio, this is where things begin to really get very exciting for Episode 9. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that it's described that during the rewrites of the film for the months of November and December of 2018, is that George Lucas proposed the idea of changing many elements for the character of Rey that would be introduced in the second and third acts that would change how fans view episodes 7 and 8. It said that one of the major pieces that George Lucas wrote into the script involved the reveal and revelation of Rey's real first name, that is said to be revealed by a major legacy character that will also change how fans view a specific classic character from the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy era, and that part of this was inspired by an abandoned story for the expanded universe back in the early 2000s. Additionally, it said that Rey's first name is said to be such a big reveal that it will change how fans view many of the pieces of the Star Wars lore, and that this was all decided by George Lucas during the rewrites and the reshoots of the film, and that Daisy Ridley reacted to the reveal in a way where she got very emotional over the sequence. The reveal of Rey's first name is also said to have a big impact on a sequel trilogy-based character, who most likely will be Kylo Ren. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, we do know that a lot of the rewrites had all to do with Rey's lineage. That was one of the main focuses, of course, in Episode 9. Between George Lucas, J.J. Abrams, Chris Terrio, they all tried their very hardest in order to make Rey a very interesting and unique character, specifically for Episode 9, to really tailor her to become a big revelation in the movie that's going to change how we view the past two films and the entire Skywalker saga itself single-handedly right there. So, with that being said, learning about her first real name in Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker I think is going to be a big deal, not just because it's by George Lucas, but also because this character is going to really evolve in this film. I know that there's a lot of mixed reactions on the character of Rey. You know, not everybody likes this character in the sequel trilogy. Meanwhile, some people like this character. I, however, believe that she does need a lot of improvement, since in The Last Jedi, I feel like that she needed more training to really be so powerful through the ways of the Force. But what's really great about Episode 9 is that we're actually going to learn exactly why she's so very powerful in this movie, and it's all going to make sense to the audience. So that's one thing to look forward to, and the other thing, of course, is how we're going to be learning more about her true identity. So the fact that her first name is going to be unveiled by a legacy character, where once it's revealed, it's going to have a big impact on a classic character from the originals and the prequels, as well as a sequel trilogy-based character, most likely, of course, being Kylo Ren. So, the name Rey itself, it does make a lot of sense now as to why she hasn't had a surname in the past 4 to 5 years, ever since the sequel trilogy has been introduced to the Star Wars fans. You know, a lot of fans have always been confused as to why she never had a surname as well in, of course, these Star Wars movies. Now, keep in mind that there are a lot of clues that, of course, you know, this is going to be a big deal because, well, at the end of the day, we do know that George Lucas, he really wanted to take special care with this movie. He really wanted to do something excellent with this film, and that's exactly why he was heavily involved during the rewrites for those months of 2018 that were actually tailored for the reshoots that would take place from the months of April until, of course, September now of this year. So a lot really is going on with this film. We do know that the marketing is going to come into full swing during the month of August, especially when the new trailer hits on August 24th, where a lot of fans are just going to enjoy the new footage of this movie with new teases of Palpatine, Rey, Kylo, Luke, you name it. So Rey's first name, you know, I would love love to hear each and every one of you, list down your ideas as to what it's really going to be. The fact that it's going to be one of the major revelations in episode 9, I think is going to be a very good twist and or turn that's going to make us look back at episode 7 and 8 in a different light. And the last thing that I just want to touch on here is that, yes, I do believe that Rey is going to get a lot of improvement in this movie. We do know that George Lucas specifically was heavily involved with the rewrites in order to improve the character of Rey, to make the character, I guess you could say, make more sense to the Star Wars fans when it comes to her power and her place within the galaxy itself. So the fact that they are changing many different elements of her lineage is really a big deal. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.